So what we're looking at here is long bone anatomy. This is what I use instead of the frozen bone. So looking at this picture here, you see these brackets on the sides here. And those brackets are separating the bone into the middle portion right here, which is called the diaphysis. So the middle portion of a long bone is called the diaphysis. The ends of a long bone, so where this is bracketed here and bracketed there, are called the epiphyses. Epiphysis for single. So here's one epiphysis, here's the other epiphysis. Now around all bone is some connective tissue, some tough fibrous connective tissue, and on this bone they have it cut so we can see that, and that right there is trying to show, I'll use my finger, so that is showing the periosteum. So that's what this line is going to, is the periosteum right there. All right. Now, within the long bone is a cavity, and we see this little cavity right here, and that cavity is called the medullary cavity. And what is stored in that cavity is this stuff right here, this yellow stuff, and that right there is called the yellow bone marrow. So that contains lipids, so fats. All right. Now we look on the sides of the diaphysis here, we're seeing that the bone here is pretty solid, and that area right there is called compact bone. That's a type of bone that is. So that's what that line is going to. So that's compact bone. Now moving up here into an epiphysis, we see that the bone in this area here is very porous, and this bone type here is called spongy bone. So that is spongy bone right there. Now those cavities are filled in with another type of bone marrow, and that's called red bone marrow. Red bone marrow makes our blood cells, and that fills those internal cavities. So it's essentially how I ask the question, what is it? It is spongy bone. What's found within it is red bone marrow. Next here is this structure that we see here. This is articular cartilage. So it's a bit of hyaline cartilage around the end of the bone, and it protects the bone. So that is articular cartilage. So that's what that line is going to. And lastly, you're seeing these areas where the bone is a little, gets a little more dense in this area, and those are the remnants of our growth plates, and these are called the epiphyseal plates. Okay, so those are the epiphyseal plates.